144, huh? Please be seated. Yeah. Good afternoon, fellow. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to welcome you all to the 344th meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. My name is Sahil Madan, and I'm here on behalf of the Sergeant at Arms of our club, which is Shubham Gupta, who is not present today. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and growth. Not to officially start the meeting, I would like to inform you that this meeting will be recorded and will be shared among members for study and self-reflection. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules. First, please avoid talking about religion, sex, and politics. Second, please turn your best friends in your pockets, which is your mobile phones, on silent mode. Third, and you are requested to be attentive throughout the meeting and support the speaker with your warm smile and applause. Let's have a great meeting. And now I would like to hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahil. Wow, great. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I believe we have so many new faces today. And I'm Saurav Khanda. I believe a 2 year almost a Toastmaster. I joined this particular platform to improve my grammatical mistakes. Okay, not mistakes that should be improved, but to understand how to speak this particular foreign language called English. I believe we know that, but as a Bengali medium student, English started in my 8th standard, and that is the main challenge with Bengali mediums. And some you people already know. You might be from English medium school, but some challenges with you might be here to understand the structure. You might be here to gain confidence. You might be here that somebody pushed you. Okay, go ahead and join Toastmasters so that you can understand certain techniques, certain structures of this particular language, and that's why we all are here. We have almost 15 to 17 Toastmasters in Toastmasters of Delhi. So I would like to invite you all to understand and the things you searched primarily for which you came here. Search that. For that also you have to stay for a particular period of time so that you can understand the entire structure of Toastmaster. So welcome once again on this 344th Toastmasters of Delhi's meeting. Okay, first as a rituals or as a common structure, we want to hear from all the guests who all are guests today. Can you just come on this physical stage and share the background of yours, why you search Toastmasters and why you are here? We'll come first. Come on, come on. Yes, please come. So you have to share your name, from where you are, how you find us, and why you are here. Okay, okay, great. By any chance you are having that Ramzan?
Yes.
Okay. So I will keep it short. Okay, for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mahmudul Hassan, and I have been looking for Toastmaster because I just want to become a motivational speaker. It's my passion because in from since 2017 I have been learning lots of books. I'm improving my knowledge to share my knowledge to do something for my society. And my background is I'm pursuing masters from Jamia Millia Islamia, MA Human Resource Management. This is last year, and currently I'm running two company that's started by myself, and now my aim is to become a speaker. So that's why I am here to improve my public speaking and how to use gestures, and I want to build a leadership quality and communication skills. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next, please, sir. Chartered Accountant, CA.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amit Kumar, and I'm a qualified chartered accountant and a certified internal auditor from Institute of Internal Auditors, USA. I'm into the profession since last 10 years, and now I'm working as a senior manager internal audit in the JK paper because my line, I would say, my profession is into the internal audit, and we have to convince the people who are working in their processes from last so many years. So we have to go there, we have to understand their processes, then identify the gaps. So convincing people that you are working this activity from last 10 or 20 years, but you are doing this in a wrong way.
I have a different opinion.
That will be remain always between the auditor and auditing.
Definitely.
Okay, I think to convincing people, and you can influence the people because activity is going on from last many years and management is also happy, but you went there within 2 or 3 days you have to understand their processes and finding the gaps. Then you have to convince the management that yes, we are saying the correct thing. So it's, I think, the influencing power. So process owners is fine, but when you have to sitting into the audit committees or with the board members, then the communication play a very crucial role there. If you are not able to convince, or if you are not able to put your point correctly, then your point and your all working will go in vain. So, and the second thing is that because our profession is like now we are moving towards the senior position or the leadership positions. So this will be another criteria when the management evaluates you, that how presentable the person, how he presents their observations. So I think this is a m- this thing motivates me to search for the Toastmaster. I was following TMOD from last 6 years. One of my friend was the part of TMOD.
Very short period of time.
Yes, it's very short period, and it required a lot of I would say courage to come on the Saturday to attend to our session.
Just needs your valid person rules. That's all.
So uh, so that is the just the motivation to coming here and learning something in a very positive manner. So that it's all about.
Very nice. Great. Thank you so much. So I have a different opinion. Why? Because I'm the purchaser. And you can understand when audit comes to me, so it will be very difficult. You need not to convince us. We have to convince you how we purchase the particular item. Okay, next. Yes, ma'am.
On a light note, you almost gave the
My name is
icebreaker speech.
You already started
Yeah,
the
hello
journey.
everyone. My name is Mahira. I work with Saudi Embassy as trade advisor. My job mainly include counseling the Saudi business people who want to either invest in India or export to India. I'm here to learn the art of public speaking and to get more confident while speaking.
Very good. Next, you, sir.
Your name?
I saw you first time.
Yeah.
No?
This is my first.
You saw me first time? Then come here. That's a good one.
Hi everyone. My name is Arun Singh Rawat. I work as a finance analyst with the British Telecom, and this is my first hands-on experience of using such platform for the first time, just to get a taste of it. And no such agenda as such on my mind. So
So how did you find us?
one of my friends told me about it. He's going to some this Toastmaster, so I would come along.
Okay, great, great. And anyone else? You? Might be. No? Yes.
It's a new member.
Yes. New member. Oh, great. Brand new Toastmaster.
Yeah, let's welcome.
Let's welcome everyone with a round of applause. Brand new Toastmaster. Your name?
My name is Sam.
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 Brand new Toastmaster Sam.
So my name is Sam Rizvi. and I'm working in the NIT technology as a senior software engineer. So I'm here because of everybody have the same kind of the dreams and expectations. So that's why I have the same level of the expectations here. So I want to improve my communication skills. That's why because I have to interact with the many people right and all over the world. So I realized that I have to improve my communications, and also I want to get into the leadership quality. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
We have another person just reached. May I have your name, please? Sanjay. Sanchit. Please come. We want to hear something about you.
Your show.
Yes, sir.
Your introduction.
Your introduction.
Why?
Brief introduction. Why
Tell
you
us
are
your
here?
name.
Who
and
pulled
why
you
did
here?
Your cousin bring you here, drag you along here.
My name is Sanchit. Um,
Again, next. School, college,
You are his cousin. You are his
workplace.
cousin. He's a very naughty person. He's going to get a bashing from you today.
I like your shoes.
He told me that I should not bring you on stage, and I challenge you.
I dragged him along. He was not willing to come, but I thought let's.
It will be
take
fun.
him.
It will be fun.
What do you do?
Nothing. School name, college name.
St. Mary's School.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Place, location.
Which
Delhi,
class? Which
Jammu
class?
Kashmir.
And are you planning to do modeling?
Okay, great. Settle down, please. Okay, don't be shy clicking photographs because we click photographs. We have our own channel, YouTube channel. We have our Facebook handle, Instagram handle. So whenever you are on stage, please give us your pose, okay, so that we can click photographs. Okay, last time also you celebrated. Okay, this time also, let's see how confident you are. Celebrated when you are joining this particular platform. This is a celebration only.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. So myself, Srinath. I came from IIT Delhi. From there, I just cycled and I almost cycled for 40 minutes. So I find
How was the traffic?
Not on
so I'm used to it now. It's quite some time now.
But Chirag Delhi bridge is under construction.
Yes. So I'm used to it. And so what is the motivation behind coming here? So I have been in the this startup ecosystem, corporate life, job for quite some time now, almost for 10 years. And same, I also I'm also coming from a Hindi medium from Bengal. So and in my class we had almost 100 people student, and nobody was getting chance for speaking. So somehow I did not learn that public speaking, and I found out recently that my growth is just stopped because of the communication. And I was searching how can I improve my communication in English and along with the public speaking. So I got to know over the internet, and all of a sudden I was speaking with one of my senior colleague in my office. So he advised about Zamrudpur, and it was new word for me, Zamrud. So I started searching, and it's 7 kilometers from my place, and then it's my second day here. So it's fun talking to you people, meeting you, and expressing myself. Thank you so much.
Please sit down. Thank you so much. We all are basically a public speaker. Meet me in a tea stall. I can understand how how confident speaker you are. But yes, if it comes to English language, I believe we all are here to learn how to speak so that people can understand. So our actual intention is to speak meaningful English so that people can understand and don't take us wrongly. On that note, I will not take much of your time, and I will straight away invite our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sika, on this physical platform.
Thank
Over
you
to
so
you,
much.
ma'am.
Very good afternoon, everyone.
Good
I
afternoon,
hope
ma'am.
the ones who've concluded the Navratra have some energy back. And Ramzan, I assure it is going to be an interesting, captivating session. You will be all along happy and enthusiastic about the session. That is my assurance. And on that note, I will begin the theme for today. So today we are having the theme of the 3-minute rule, which says you talk less to get more. But how is that possible that I have to get maximum out of you, but I want to be the minimum one who speaks? There's a lot of scientific study behind it, which says actually that in today's time, when you have a lot of information available, when there is a lot of e-technology there, a person, the capacity, the tolerance level has come down when the person is okay to keep hearing your long verbose statements. The person wants you to be to the point, crisp, and tell exactly what you want out of that person. With that precision being expected, if I have to tomorrow make a persual, a pitch, or a presentation, and I have a similar target audience to cater to, then I have to structure my conversation so that I'm able to hold that person's focus and attention and get the desired action out of him. So this theme primarily tells you that how you are supposed to structure your conversation, that I'm able to hold your focus, hold your attention, and get you towards a desired action. So this is the whole theme, okay? And that's when I say the 3 minutes is basically the time frame when you're saying that the required structure requires this much of time, and what is the process by which we're going to do this conversation, that you are most effective in this 3 minutes, and there's a more likelihood that you will get the desired action out of the person that you're targeting. So this is the theme. So what's there is a particular process or a manner in which the human brain decodes the information or processes it. Okay. For example, if you telling me something and I'm just hearing it, but in my mind I'm actually processing that information. So how am I processing that information? One, the first step says I'm going to conceptualize. What is the meaning of conceptualize? The conceptualize says, okay, you're telling me something. I need to understand that very clearly. What is that you wanting to tell me? The second stage says that I need to contextualize. I have understood your concept. I need to now relate it to myself. That whatever you're talking, is that relatable to me? Is it what's in it for me? That's the second stage of saying contextualization. And third and lastly says actualization, which says, I understood what you have to say. I understand this is even relatable for me, but can I actually do it? Is this in my capacity to do it? Is it in my financial feasibility? Is this within my time permit? Or at the stage in where I am in my life, can you do it? So the three stages in which, while you're talking, my brain is running and processing the information, that's the scientific study behind it. That's how a human processes the information. So what we're going to do further, one, we've understood how a brain processes the information. What we will do is we will structure a conversation, any pitch, presentation, persuasive conversation, or to relate it to how the human actually process the information. Because if I've understood how the brain is processing, I want to just give it the way in which it is being received. And that's how I will be most effective. At the first stage, if the brain is probably, trying to understand, that's the stage I need to marry. I'm not going to be cross doing it. So we'll understand the structure, but first we've understood at this stage how does the brain processes the information. There are three stages to it. Concept, let me understand what you want to tell. Context is I want to see, is this relatable to me? And third is, can I actually do it? It's relevant for me, but can I do it? So these are the three stages. We've understood as how the human brain is processing. I'll take a pause here. I'll first introduce, because we today have a lot of guests with us. A general Toastmaster meeting would have three definite sections. The first section says we're going to do prepare speeches. Like we have a lot of members also who are the TMODs. They will come and deliver their speeches basis on the level or the projects, the objectives they have to cover in a speech. They will come and deliver the speeches. Those are generally 5 to 7 minutes prepared speeches. Second section says we're going to do table topics. This is actually more also for our guests to come and participate with us, wherein we are giving you impromptu topics, okay, like extempore. You will have spontaneous topics. You can formulate your thoughts in 30 seconds and thereafter talk about that topic for approximately 1.5 or 2 minutes. That's a table topic section, as we call it. The third section is the evaluation section. The evaluation section is very important because we've come here, we've spoken, but we need to progress. So hereby, in the evaluation section, you will get to know, okay, this is what you did good, but this is how you need to improve as you go level by level. So that's why we say the evaluation section is very important as much as the previous sections of delivering the something. So that's how the three main sections of a TMOD Toastmaster meeting is. Before I go any further, I'll invite our general evaluator to introduce his evaluation team. Allow me to please welcome Mr. Shahid.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shika. Good afternoon, Toastmasters. You already know my name, and Shika has already told it. It's not Mr. Shahid, it is just Shahid. Second thing is that I am your staple Toastmaster, general evaluator. Make it a staple because this is the only diet you are going to get for the next 6 months. I'm not expecting any member of my club to come and become a general evaluator. Though I keep challenging them, but they don't accept the challenge. How can they accept the challenge from a guy who is going in his 60s and they are half their age? So they just find that if I hit him, that will be bad for them, and if I lose from him, that will be bad from them. So I am always an unopposed general evaluator. So jokes apart, what is a general evaluator? A general evaluator is a person, a Toastmaster, who will evaluate the meeting in three prongs. So that is what I normally do. I evaluate the meeting on the parliamentary level, I evaluate the meeting on the ambience level, and I evaluate the meeting on the preparation of the participants level. So let's come to the preparation of the participants. The role player who will come here, they will they will first observe, first they will tell you what are the objectives. So I call them a tag team. So let me first call the timer of the day Toastmaster, Saif. He is a debutant Toastmaster. He has joined hardly 24 hours back, and I offered him a challenge to become a timer. He said, "What is a timer?" And here is the timer.
Hi, fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guest. My name is Seth and I am the timer of the day. I am responsible to keep a track of the time taken by various speakers and role players. Typically, people speech is time for 5 to 6 minutes. I will show the green card, this one, at 5 minutes. The yellow card 6 minutes, and red card for the 7 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. I request speech evaluators to apprise me if the speech time is different from 5 to 7 minutes. For table topics, each topic is required to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I will show the green card. I will show the green card at only 5 minutes, the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. Table topics, speakers have a grace period of 30 seconds on the plus side. So I will submit my report in the evaluation session. Thank you.
So, how are you feeling? Just keep the butterflies in your stomach ready.
Yeah.
You are soon going to come for more than 5 minutes on stage again. All the best to you. Just to explain the table topic section, because today we have a number of guests and our table topic master is feeling tense and nervous that if he should invite his friends or should invite the soon to be friends on the stage. That is a very big challenge for any Toastmaster. So I just explained to you, if he calls you on stage and addressing the guests, do not get nervous. Whatever topic he is giving, just intently listen to the topic and think about it for 30 seconds, and then you can speak. Your time will start after 30 seconds. If you start speaking immediately, the time will start immediately. If you start speaking after some time, only when you utter your first word, your timing will start. Speaking for 1 minute is not easy for anyone coming on stage and giving anything on any topic. For example, if you go to school and sometimes you get late because you were watching that oxen doing some theatrics on the road, and when you go late to the school, and the principal says, or the guard says, "Where were you?" And you say, "Oh, I don't know." At that time, you say, "Sir, गिर गया था लग गई." Someone asks, "गिर गया था लग गई?" What do you mean गिर गया था लग गई? Sir, गिर. Oh, you fell down and you got hurt. Yes, sir. He went in. The friend said, "What does this mean? गिर गया था लग गई?" कह रहा है, "I बिस्तर पे गिर गया था, आंख लग गई." I went down on the bed and I went to sleep. So this is how Toastmasters table topic session works. Now let me call upon stage the R counter of the day, who will tell us the objectives, why there are R's and M's, and how we have to control them. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Anand, the R counter.
Hello everyone. My name is Anand Prakash. I am the R counter of today's meeting. The purpose of R counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by the speakers. I will keep a track of repeated words such as and, well, like, but, so, you know, as and ums. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these filler expressions. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. When you come on stage, you have a stage fright. But when you start speaking, your minds give you fright. It tells you not to speak. Because if you speak, you will be judged. If you speak, you will be ridiculed. You speak, somebody might throw an egg on you, right? That is why you don't come on stage, because you are scared that somebody will throw an egg at you. Don't worry, they'll send you roses. So at that time, our mind starts processing things slowly. And then comes the words, R's, ums. We keep on repeating ourselves. Sometimes, there is a fantastic slang in America. They keep on saying, I like it. It is like, it is like, people say that it's something of a fad that you keep on saying like or But in Toastmasters, when you are practicing public speaking, these words are actually a stage where the people are not connecting with you. They don't know why is he repeating the words. We have already understood it. You are actually challenging their sensibilities, and they feel ridiculed, so they don't talk to you or they don't listen to you. Coming to the last but not the least person, who is the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Deepak, and he's also the speech evaluator, table topics evaluator. He'll explain both the roles together. Toastmaster Deepak.
Good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Deepak and I am a grammarian for today's meeting. My role is to observe all the speakers and role players carefully and take a note on the good and incorrect usage of the English language. I will also take a note on number of times the word of the day is used. I will also insist all the speakers and role player to avoid using regional language. If it is required, then convert it into English language. The word of the day is befuddled. It's an adjective. It means unable to think clearly, confused state. And for an example, like when I was in a stage for the first time, I got befuddled.
Befuddled.
Yes. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Let's write the word.
I'm writing.
He'll write the word. Okay, so while he's writing the word,
Deepak, can you use the black one?
there was a movie by this name. Like there is bedazzled, there is befuddled. There is some fuddle in your mind, something happening that is confusing you. Nice word. He's writing the meaning of it.
Writing
Unable to think
simple
clearly.
meaning.
There is a fudge in your mind.
So I will
Befuddled.
submit my report during general evaluation session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. So he's also the table topics evaluator, and he did not explain that role. He was so involved in doing this grammarian role. Sometimes a Toastmaster has to wear many hats, and one of the hats just gets dropped. So I'll just explain to you what a table topics evaluator do. Table topics evaluator will evaluate you on certain parameters, your speech, how fast you processed it, how quick you were to actually explain the speech, and how good you were in structuring the speech without too much of preparation. That is important. A 2 minute speech of table topics is again a storytelling or a speech. It also has the same nuances that any prepared speech has. That means you have to have a introduction, you have to have a body, you have to have a conclusion. So that is how it works. I saw this beautiful movie called Vikram, in which there were so many anticipations by the other stars in the movie to this protagonist Kamal Hassan. They would say this will happen wrong, this will happen wrong, this will happen this, and he said, "Koi nahi dekh lenge, we will see it." So to all the guests here, I suggest that when the table topic session comes, just raise your hands and dekh lenge. Thank you. Over to Madam.
All right, so we'll resume our theme. How many of you, while you were watching the reels on a YouTube channel or on Facebook, just flipped through if you do not like it much? Every night? All right. You know why we do this? There's science behind it. The science says, there was a study done by Microsoft recently which said that if you're not able to hold my attention for 8 seconds, I'm going to flip you through. You're not getting my focus. You're not worth my time. So that's the study behind it. And if you're feeling any befuddled of how we have to go by in finding the right way of how I need to, if the reel has to be also be done, what is the right way to do it? If I have to put a page, what is the right way to have it, structure it out? We will just learn it gradually. But before I unveil that to you, I will start with our first very prime section, which is the speech section. Our first speaker today is Saurabh Khanra. He is also the president of our club. He's on the level 4 now. Okay, you're on level 3, project 3 of in his project, in his pathways, and he is a sales professional, a very nice, generous, humorous person. And with this, I would invite you to please come and deliver your speech. What the title?
First, you have to give the evaluation objectives. Shikha, you are
the what's the speech and the evaluation?
Story crafting.
Story crafting. All right. So today he's delivering a speech which is around the objective of storytelling. So he will today give us a speech in which he will convey a message through the process of storytelling, basically, and we'll see how much engaged and captivated he gets us as he does this. Please invite Saurabh Khanra to deliver his speech. What's the title?
Thank you so much.
The title.
The stories. Why?
The stories. All right, Saurabh Khanra, the stories, Saurabh Khanra.
How many of you think that India is a land of stories? By show of hands. How many of you have papers and pen with you? Okay. So why the papers and pens? Because at the end you have to write down the moral of the story. Why? And you invested time on listening my stories. From ancient age, India is a land of stories. We know that very well. Granny stories, Dadi Amma stories, and the most biggest stories of India are Ramayana and Mahabharata, and that actually are not written stories. That are word of the mouth story translated from uh, our family persons, ancient owners of that particular stories. They experienced it, and they just narrated it to the next generation, and thus we actually understand the power of stories. And today, standing in the year 2023, it is a mandatory portion because everyone here want to understand the power of storytelling. Okay? On that note, I'm going to share two simple short story to you, and you have to understand how that story reflects your personal life when it comes to your professional life. Okay, people here want to become a future leader, want to understand how to craft a story in front of our managers so that they can also connect us, and we have to use certain metaphors so that they should not be offended but understand why we are narrating that particular statement. So, on my first story, it talks about a very small village far from the town. There we have a lady who is actually a mother of two. One of her son actually very fond of sugars. He used to eat sugars on a regular basis with a huge number of or huge amount of portion of that particular food. The mother not able to understood how to manage her son and how to control her sugar craving. So one day during her daily rituals, she came to a person. He told her that we have a wise person far from the village. You have to walk down, and if you meet him, he will guide you how to control your son from eating sugar in a large amount. So one day, as the city or the place was far from that particular village, it take almost one full day to reach that particular place. So one fine day, she woke up and completed her task because she also have to manage a family. Her husband, she has to prepare the food. So quickly she prepared all the food, hand over that food to her husband, hold her son's hand, and started walking to that wise person. It took almost 7 to 8 hours to reach that particular place. And when she arrived that place, she understood that so many people are there want to learn from him because he is the only wise person in that particular area, almost covered by a few villages. He went over there, and finally she had that time when that secretary came to her and brought her to that wise person. When she visited that wise person, she narrated her problem that this is my elder son and he has a curving of sugar in a large amount, and I am not able to manage him from this particular curving, and this is actually not good for his health. So please help me. How can I control him from having this portion of sugar on daily basis? The wise person understood the problem. He went silent, take a couple of minutes, and just said that, my dear child, go back and come next week. Lady was offended. How, what type of wise person he is? It's just a small complaint or small problem. Might be he can manage it very quickly. But why he took a portion of a couple of time to answer me, and why he also ordered me or informed me to come next week? So on her thought, he went back because it took another 7 hours to reach her village, and it almost the entire day was over. But that lady, she's a mother of a son. She don't want to let her son like that because at the end of the day, sugar is not that much good for our health. That's the reason. So she waited for another week. On next week, on the same day, she went back to that wise person, did all the rituals that she has to complete for that particular day, and finally that wise person uh, gave the time, and now this lady is in front of that wise person, and that wise person just told her son that don't eat sugar. please don't eat sugar, it is not good for health. The son actually admired that wise person and took that advice very seriously, and he nodded, yes, from today onwards, I will not eat that much sugar, but I am eating now. The lady was very happy and started walking back to her home. And suddenly he remembered that this is a very small sentence. Then why the wise person not answered that last week? So he stopped, went back to the wise person and asked, Sir, you might be say the same things last week. Then why you took 1 week time to answer this to my son? Again, the wise person stopped for a while, took a couple of seconds time, and answered that, dear child, as because I'm also fond of sugar for last couple of years and not able to get rid of this habit. Now, if I am doing the same thing, how can I advise someone who is having the same problem? So, in the last week, I myself first get rid of sugar habits or sugar craving, and then I actually get the answer to the particular child. So on that note, I stop here because I believe my time is over, and I told you just write the moral of the story. Okay, thank you so much, and back to
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav. Progressing every day. Good to see that. All right, we have the second speaker with us today, Anand Prakash. He is the most humorous person we have out there. One liners are always something that make us laugh, and sometimes half line also does the job. He's a happy person out there. Besides being a professional, he is an absolute great sports person, an avid cyclist, and a swimmer as well, and a great human above everything. Allow me to please invite his evaluator, Neeti, to please share the objectives of the speech.
Anand is a part of Toastmaster from last 4 months. He is trying to improve his speaking skills, just like all of us. So today he is going to repeat his last speech with the feedback provided to him. His speech title is America, Pathway Presentation Mastery, Level 2 Project 1.
All right, we have Toastmaster Anand delivering his speech with the title America, America, Toastmaster Anand. Please welcome.
Hello, Toastmasters and dear guests. Good afternoon. I have a question for you. Are you guys interested in settling down in foreign countries like Canada, Australia, USA? Anyone? Lovely. USA is the most powerful country in the whole world. We all know that. They have a huge army, and they have a huge army. Technologically, they are super advanced. Billionaires live there and have trillions of dollars of economy. America is so bright, beautiful, and prosperous that the whole world is enticed by America. Just like millions of other Indian people, I am also fascinated about America because it's wonderful. We all want to go there just to have fun or to settle down to live our life there. Those who have been there even says the sky is more clear there. No, they say. But to really understand what is there, what is out there, we need to look at the both sides of the coin. Because not everything that shines is a gold. Everything could have some dark shades or gray shades of those things. Okay. Let me close this up. Okay, so today let's talk about the dark side of America, which most of people don't know about. Studies says that approximately 32% of Americans are struggling to pay their bills on time. 32% of population is not a small number. People are living paycheck to paycheck. That means if they don't get their paycheck for 2 months in a row, they are this close to be on the road as homeless. Homelessness is a problem in America which is rising day by day. Okay. Mhm. So, homelessness. People are struggling to balance their things out or to survive. For example, those who have jobs, there, they have jobs, they are earning a decent amount of money, but they are living in their cars only and looking for shelters in the parking lots because renting an apartment in the USA is not affordable. That's not a good sign. You have a job, you are earning, but still you are suffering because you cannot afford the apartment. It's out of the budget. And this was about those who have jobs, and those who have lost their jobs due to any reason are in far worse conditions. Those who are jobless are struggling to get even the necessities of survival. They are living on roads like stranded dogs, begging all day and looking for food articles in the dustbin. If you imagine this scene, it's disgusting and horrific because those Americans are not illiterate people. Just because they don't have job, they are on road, but they're not illiterate people like we have in India. But due to some reasons, they lost their job, so now they're on road. And as soon as they hit the roads, they become drug addicts because the influence of surroundings, and soon turn to criminal activities as well. Criminal activities as well, and it is so tough to bounce back into normal life again because it's not easy. You are on road and you want to go back into normal life, normal routine, 9 to 5 job. Not so easy. I have seen documentaries. People have spent 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years on road because they are not able to bounce back. I think it's just shameful for a nation like America. Such a shame. America is so big. Let me give you one comparison. USA is 4 times bigger than India in size, while having 3 times less population. They have, we have, India has 135 crore people, and USA has only 35 crore people. I wonder how come people are living their life as homeless. So much space, so few people, but still homeless. And I also wonder what the government and those so-called NGOs are doing there. Your own people, your own citizens are suffering while living in a prosperous country. Let me give you more examples also. If I ask you to cover whole Delhi by walking, you will deny my request because Delhi is so big to cover on foot. But if you see India's map, Delhi is just as big as a dot, and USA is 3 times bigger. Few weeks back, our Toastmaster Lavina, which is absent today, talked about areas of concern and areas of control. Maybe the situation of Americans does not fall does not fall under my area of control or concern, but I don't care. But I do care about them because I feel really bad. Those are human here, and they're suffering while living in a prosperous country. Billionaires, trillions of dollars of economy. What's the use? And I talked about America and not India. You know why? Because India also has this problem of homeless people, but America can do something about it very easily because they have so many resources, so much space, while so many so few people who are struggling or facing this issue. If they will do this, if they will do something about it, the whole world also can learn from them because whole world is influenced by those Western countries. So, but who is at fault? Who are responsible? What needs to be done or what can be done could be a topic for another talk. That's all I have for now.
Thanks, Toastmaster Anand, for the beautiful speech. All right, we have our next speech from Toastmaster Sahil. He's all geared up already for his name and doing the preparation for the guests. This is how, if you become the members among us, you will also be doing your speeches and we will all be loving to hear you all. All right, we have Toastmaster Sahil now. I think besides the introduction of being an MBA aspirant that we hear every time, in my view, he's the most sincere person out there. If you need any help with the technology, he's always there to help. If you need any help with the infrastructure, you're feeling lost, or you need some guidance, he's the go-to person. So I think besides what the right hand, as Mr. Shahid Shaisa tells us, I think he's an absolutely great person to be around, always a smiling face. Allow me to invite his evaluator, Saurav Khandra, Toastmaster Saurav, to please help us share the details on the objective of the speech.
I'm heard already. Lots of things. So nothing to add. I will not take much of your time because he is actually delivering level 1 P4 from the Pathway Leadership Development Program. Back to you.
Oh, thank you. All right, we have Toastmaster Sahil delivering his speech. Always fail, Toastmaster Sahil. Toastmaster Sahil always fail. Please welcome.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shikha. I still remember in my childhood days, after coming back from school, I used to go and play cricket 2 hours, 3 hours every day, along with a couple of friends that used to live near my house. Apart from that, we also used to have an official cricket match on every Sunday. The opponents used to be the people or the kids who used to live across the street or in the neighboring area. Every Sunday, we used to have a match at around 8 in the morning, and our team used to reach there at around 6:37 in the morning, to warm up a little, to practice a little. And we used to start the match every 8, and those guys, the opponents, they were double our size. So not me, of course. I was tall, but most of the people in my team, the opponents were double their size, and they used to look like them, and they were big, strong, tough guys. Every Sunday we used to have our match. Every Sunday they used to absolutely bash us, and we used to lose horribly and shamefully. And we were befuddled, and we used to imagine, oh, what happened, what just happened with us. But again, every Sunday, 6:30 a.m. in the park, we used to practice with the same energy, with the same enthusiasm, with the same confidence. Now, weeks after weeks passed, and we did not win even a single match. Every Sunday, they used to absolutely bash us. But one fine Sunday, maybe it was a bad day for them, or maybe it was a good day for us, they batted first and they got out on a very low score. And we were all chill that we'll chase the score easily. And I was batting there, and we had another 8 to 10 runs left to make. And I was pretty comfortable. We have a lot of batting left, and we have a lot of overs left, and I had to make only 10 12 runs. So the bowler bowled the delivery, and I hit it out of the park for 6. Now, we did not have ball boys. We are not in an IPL tournament. Eventually, we have to fetch the ball ourselves and go outside the park and fetch the ball ourselves. So, one of the fielders of their team went outside. He fetched the ball. He tried to fetch the ball. After 2 3 minutes, he came back. He said he could not find the ball. So, another 2 3 players of their team went. outside to fetch the ball. Eventually, they could not find it. Slowly, all of their team was outside fetching the ball, and our team was waiting. When will they come back to play? After 5 minutes passed, I went outside and you know, I went outside and what I saw was all seven, eight of them running at top speed to their homes with the ball in their hand. So they were maybe ashamed to lose. So they were ashamed to lose. But keeping this particular match aside, apart from this match, every Sunday we were losing. They were actually bashing us, and we used to get there back at the park with the same energy levels and with the same confidence. There was a quality or an ability at that time that we had that we did not realize was to always fail. Now, you might think that fail here basically means the opposite of success, as most of you might know. But fail here I have used as a very beautiful acronym, which is fight again in life. So we had the ability or the quality to fight again in life. Now let us understand that our society always perceives everything as success or failure. Particularly, failure is perceived as a whole. There is no good failure or bad failure. Oh, he could not clear the exam, he failed in the exam. Or she could not become a doctor, she failed. Let us understand something with the help of an example. There is a 500-meter tall mountain, and people have to climb that mountain. One guy comes, he climbs 10 meters, he quits. He could not climb the mountain, he quits. Another guy comes, he climbs another 100 meters, he quits. Some climb 170 meters, 200 meters. One guy comes, he climbs all the way to 490 meters. He cannot go any further, he quits. Now tell me, the one who climbed 50 meters and the one who climbed 490 meters, are they the same person or do they have the same qualities? But what are they eventually? They're failures. They're both failures, right? So the thing I'm trying to drive home is that we always perceive failure as a whole. There is no good failure or bad failure. But the one who climbed 50 meters, the guy who climbed 50 meters, he did not have the same qualities, he did not have the same skills or the knowledge as the 490-meter guy did. The 50-meter person came, he climbed, he could not do it, and he quit. The one who climbed 490 meters, he gave it absolute best. All the skills, all the knowledge he had, he applied there to the point where he could not climb. I hope I do not touch this. I hope to the point where he could not even climb further 10 meters. Let me share my example. I gave a particular entrance exam twice. The first time I failed, I thought, all the hard work that I did for around 1 year, that went in vain in those particular 2 hours. But the next time I gave that particular entrance exam, I cleared it, and I used to think that all the hard work that I did previously in my first attempt that went in vain. But in the second attempt, that actually gave me a head start. When people around me were beginning to practice, I was already at a level where I could not put much effort, but I could get more results. So even without putting much effort, I got the result that I needed. So all the hard work that you make, all the perseverance that you show, that does not go in vain. So every time you fail, remember that to look at the things from this perspective that I just told you. At the end, I would like to conclude by saying one quote by Samuel Beckett. He said, "Ever tried, ever failed, doesn't matter. Try again, fail better." Thank you, and back to you.
That is a very beautiful message actually out there. People generally chase for success, but it's always about just getting better. All right. With here, we have two new guests joined us. Could I have your names? Hi.
Harshita. Madhumita.
All right.
Also,
Welcome.
one
One more person. Hi. Abhay. Nave. All right. I welcome all of you to our meetings. So we were just on the section of speeches. A Toastmaster meeting has three sections of speeches, table topics, impromptu speeches, and evaluation. So we were in the middle of the first section, which is about the speeches. We've gone through three speeches. We are now going to have just one more speech, and then we'll maybe take a break, and I will brief you more of what we've done so that you feel included all along. All right. We have now our fourth and the last speaker, which is Neeti Gupta. Besides being a great professional and an absolutely loving mother, she is a beautiful artist. I think so far nobody knows this thing. So I have seen her artwork. She does very beautiful glass painting, artwork, and very creative stuff she does, which can actually be commercialized. So I was always actually saying, why are you doing a job when you have such great different talent? So maybe sometimes you can also share this with all of us, and you never know where that leads to. All right, on that note, allow me to please invite her evaluator, DTM Shahid sir, to please share the objectives of her speech.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmasters. Toastmaster Neeti needs no introduction, but let me tell you how she's related to me. She's my mentee's mentee. That means I am her grand mentor. And I am going to evaluate her speech. Look at the pressure she's going to have. But trust me, she's not under pressure because she knows I treat her like a daughter and she's always welcome to do any mistakes and I'm going to get her away with it. Okay, so Toastmaster Neeti is going to do this project on which she has to deliver a speech which has emphasis on two things. So any speech has almost 9 parameters in Toastmasters, but here we are going to emphasize on two things. That is, one is vocal variety and one is body language. So here she will deliver a speech that has a lot of involvement of such words that become a vocal variety emotionally, and then what we call is body language. So body language is like when you are crying, so you sob. When you sob, your body shakes. So this is how body language you express yourself when you are crying in a sob with the body. That's how she's going to express herself, not by crying in front of you, but by delivering a beautiful speech. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Shreya.
All right, I welcome Toastmaster Neeti. The attitude, Toastmaster Neeti.
Good afternoon, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guest. According to me, there are only two animals on the planet that have the Creator has identified Himself. The first one is the eagle, and the second one is the lion. When I identified these animals, I recognized I better study about these animals. If they are the leaders of the universe and I do want to become the leader on the earth, then I have to identify the nature of these animals, the attitude of these animals. And I realized that they both are the kings in their own domain. The lion is the king in the animal kingdom, and the eagle is the king in the bird domain. Let us talk a bit more about lion. A lion has a spirit of leadership, and the word spirit here is referring to attitude. Everyone has their own attitude, and a leader's attitude is the one that distinguish him or her from the fellows. Lion is the king of the jungle. He is not the tallest animal, neither he is the largest, nor he is the heaviest. Still, everyone is afraid of him when he shows up. I have a beautiful quote that when an army of sheep is led by a lion, will always defeat an army of lion led by a sheep. The answer to this dilemma is this because when a leader leads a coward people, they will they will turn into violent warriors. The right kind of leadership can turn timid people into bold. Leadership is such a powerful tool that when a leader walks into a camp of depressed people, they can turn them on in 20 minutes to unbelievable powerful army. And thus, lion is the king of the jungle just because of one word attitude, which makes him different. Thus, everyone is afraid of him. For example, when a lion sees an elephant, what comes in his mind? One word: lunch. I can eat this thing. Thus, he acts the way he believes. And the elephant, who is the tallest, largest, heaviest, strongest, more powerful than lion, when he sees the lion, the one word that comes in his mind is predator. Thus, attitude. It is the product of our belief. You cannot have an attitude beyond your beliefs. Thus, attitude comes from your belief system. The lion is the king of the jungle because he believes in himself. Our attitude is our approach, how we do our work, our relationships. Attitude is not something that is predetermined or it is stoned. It is something that we can work on. Our attitude can be negative or positive. A positive attitude brings joy, happiness, fulfillment into our life. It helps us to overcome our challenges, achieve our goals. So, I encourage all of you to cultivate a positive attitude in your life. Surround yourself with positive people. Read uplifting books. Read uplifting books. Practice gratitude in your life. Also, your attitude is something that reflects your nature. It also have an impact on the people who is surrounded by you. So, I encourage you all of you to have a good attitude in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Niti. I think we have the tea here. We'll take a 5 to 10 minutes break, and we'll also just introduce unofficially and alongside as we have the tea, and we resume after 5 to 10 minutes. All right? All right.
He's the one who is the life. You are the one who is the you. You are an introvert, watching everything like a bird. He's the lion.
We have tea if in case you all want to have tea. We have tea. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. All right. Whoever can have
Just
would
give
like
some
to.
rest to your vocal cords. Make it little bit
Between
wet.
the speeches, I get to rest. I like okay.
Make it little bit wet so that you can take participate in the program.
Oh, we keep that.
पूछ रहा हूँ
Improve presentation. That's one part. Like my pathway is coaching. So know the pathway and by level one, we give you projects. Like, okay, if your pathway is presentation, the first assignment is PowerPoint. Then okay, you do use the software of PowerPoint and deliver it. So that will be a first part. Likewise, the project will be maybe you have to use on your spoken writing or your hand gesture, your body language. So that way, focusing especially on that gradual process, it just improves you. So that way, what are you focusing on?
For example, if you want to
Is making any sense?
No, yeah, please go ahead. I'm just pulling your legs.
I think most of you have not been introduced to these two beautiful ladies. She is Harshita, she is Madhumita. They are both spoken language trainers, English spoken language trainers, and they have been really anxious to come to Toastmasters, but problems.
Yeah, I work possibly because weekends are also working, so you can understand. Okay. So yeah, that is what even I planned last year in December, but things didn't work in our favor. But right
What
now
I'm
we
offering
plan.
them is that there are certain people in our club who really need that challenge of speaking English in the right way. And so if they join us, so I want you all to please plead to them to join the club so that we have more strong public speaking.
What are your see, public speaking has always been, very motivating for me. It's not about only training, but we also do a lot of webinars. We also do reels and all that for our own company. So public speaking is all about connecting with the audience. For me, it is, and I love talking to people. That is what I'm very good at. I love talking to people, especially as students. So for me, public speaking has a whole together different objective. That is to make connect with people. So that is what I'm good at. What about
You
you?
are already good at public speaking. We all are.
But there's always a room of improvement because I see a lot of public speaking videos wherein I find that I'm not good at this thing, I'm not good at that thing. I speak a lot. So in public speaking doesn't mean that you have to speak a lot, but come words and it has to be better.
There is something good going on in Toastmasters. Here, people come and say, "Sir, I'm not good at this thing." And I say, "What are you good at?" They say, "I'm good at that thing." And then we start nurturing that good thing in them, and the bad thing already becomes gone.
Yeah.
That is how Toastmasters works.
The theme that I have, which somewhere covers the section that you're looking at.
Yes, to hug the it's like a module, a 3-minute attention of any person is what we say. It is said that person has an attention span of only 2.5 seconds. 2.5 minutes. In that minute, you create why are different speeches for 7.5 minutes? That is, give a pause after 2.5 minutes, catch attention, then again pause, 2.5 minutes. This is how it works. Not more than 2.5 minutes. When you go to your seniors and you corporate, it's a 2 minute. That 2 minute acronym comes out of the fact that we can only give our attention only for 2 minutes. Now she's talking about talk less. In 3 minutes, when you talk less and tell more, you get more.
Something what you're
And,
looking
yeah.
at, I'll be coming.
Something that is an educational module into it. You people should understand and note. All those who are guests, all those who have recently joined Toastmasters, this is a learning process for you from Toastmasters. Like that, how do you get the most out of
Bengalian. I know Bengalian.
If you are able to
Just a
speak for
part-time
3 minutes
language.
and then add another 3 minutes, your show is done.
I can understand. If you are from West Bengal,
I
during
think,
those days,
For me, I
80s,
like connecting with people.
the
That's
English
the
started
first point I like. And
during
second
class
thing,
7, 8 or
if
so.
there's something I can
The way
learn
people
from
were
someone,
speaking,
and if there's something I can give
not
out
speak,
to
but,
the audience,
make it
that's
a
what
structure.
I feel. And mostly, it's not about connecting.
And
It's like
this is the
when
way
you
of
talk to people,
public
you should be
speaking.
giving out real life examples, or
If you
you can
actually all
relate
the
with
companies
people,
are
or
doing
people
them,
can relate with you.
That
Goes vice
you are
versa.
not
So
being
that's
a
what
good
my
speaker,
main
that's why
motive
we are
is.
not going to promote it.
I think
So that's why
listening is
all
something
people
I
came
really
out
want to
and
improve.
Saurav, you have company here. He's still trying to improve on
Listening
listening
is something
skills.
I really want to work
Listening,
on.
no, I was very good listening.
So you heard me speak, so I take your everything.
No, because being a salesperson, if I listen,
He is
I'm
very
not-
good
Going
at
into
listening.
sales?
Yeah. If I'm not listening enough, then I cannot sell. Yeah, the first thing I have to listen.
So his listening skills are so good that he
That means
listens
you
only
have a
for
good convincing.
2.5 seconds.
Up to a certain level, because after that, if I am not going to speak, then I will lose my sale.
Yes.
Yeah.
So up to a certain level, I know that.
And his
how much I
level
have
is
to
only
listen.
2.5 seconds.
So that actually taught me. My professional life taught me till up to when you have to listen. After that, you have to jump.
One day I was dreaming of an ice cream vendor, and I saw Saurav in that dream. He was selling ice cream, and I was very much worried which ice cream
I
should
don't
I
know if he was
buy.
selling or if I would be there, I would definitely be eating it, not selling it.
He was selling it, and I was watching him. I was not able to make a decision, and he handed me 4 ice creams and said, "Here is your person. Pay the money."
So I'm really curious to know how come you be a part of a public
Only
speaking?
the language.
Just to improve it.
What happened recently I evaluated that from Monday to Friday I'm speaking with Hindi language throughout the week, and only one day I'm using this particular language. Then and I thought that it will be it will not try to engage myself in certain areas, but this is the primary goal. And that's how you have to build a crowd where you have to discuss a lot so that you can actually improve your language. I'm here only for the language. I'm very good confidence. I will go any point of
Yeah, that is very much visible.
No, actually this profession taught me.
Wow.
This profession taught me.
One first shot with the president on a post. Second time he was just waiting for me to take the lead. I thought.
So what did he do? We must know. We must know his story.
Charisma. No, he's a very secular person. If you look at him, he is Bengali. Belongs to Bengal. He looks like someone from Bihar. He has a kada, so he looks like
whatever I have actually.
When he starts talking, he can talk Punjabi very well. Very secular person.
To convince my customer. Because if you don't know in first sentence that you have to connect. As long as you connect people, it is not to sell. You have to just ask for the money.
All he needs is just a hearing, and then he'll look like a
Yeah, right. I'm waiting to look for
All right, we resume.
Go back, we'll see.
All right. We'll resume our meeting after the free tea and chit chat. All right. So we'll continue with our theme, which is about being most effective in the 3 minutes to get someone to action as we desire. I have been talking of that. Let us first understand how a human brain works, and then we're going to share how do you structure your conversation so that you hit the right nail and you get where you want, and you don't want to lose somebody just looking at phone as you talk or being disinterested, and you've also invested your time. We don't want to be that. So let's use the opportunity to the max in giving just the right point of conversation we want to deliver. So there are 4 steps. Okay, there are 4 steps in which you structure a conversation. The first step says, what is it? What do you want to talk about? Let's be very simple, plain, straightforward. Don't make it verbose. Don't beat around the bush. Don't make it too wordy. Nobody has the time to hear you. Make it simple. 2 is, how is it that you're going to deliver that? I mean, what's the process behind it? How do you achieve that? The third one says, are you sure? You making promises, you talking of things that you can deliver, but is there any historical reference of however you've been able to deliver it? Is there any reference point? Can you validate it? Can you share something? That's the third point. And the fourth one says, can you do it? Which says, is there a feasibility of you being actually able to do it? I mean, is it relatable to me? Can I do it actually and take an action? So that's the 4 steps in which what you have to deliver, what is it? how you can deliver it. How, that's the W and H. And A is, are you sure, in which you give the evidences. And the C part is, can you do it? Can this be taken to action? Can you take an action? So these are the 4 steps. But I'm not just going to give you theories. I'm going to demonstrate on you, in front of you, a small conversation, which I'll do it right away, in which you can actually relate. And just remember these 4 points, okay? The first one is what I'm doing it. Second is how do I do it. The third one is are you sure, which means I need to give you evidences. I'm going to engage you maybe through storytelling. I'm going to make you believe in me, which is where I'm going to, once you're convinced, I can lead you to what I want you to do. And fourth is, can you do it? I mean, I'm looking for a desired action out of you. So that's the 4th stage. So these are the 4 stages. I'm going to right now demonstrate a real-time conversation in front of you, and you just try and mentally correlate that am I structuring my conversation along these 4 points, okay? So I'm a finance person, I'm a finance professional, and I'm here before all of you to sell my financial services. But I can't be desperate about it. Hey, can you buy my services? I'll make some commission. I have an opportunity to interact with you, and I'm going to structure my conversation right now, okay? All right. Hi, I'm a wealth advisor. I can double your money in just 5 years. How about that? You invest 100 rupees today, and after 5 years, you will get 500 rupees. Sounds great, no? Do you think you have some money in which you would like to double in just the 5 years? I'm a financial planner. I protect you from various incidences that you can have in life, wherein you will use your savings, not just what you have in hand, but also what it can give you as better returns. I make you invest in instruments, in equity, which gives you high return. I make you invest in bonds that protects your capital and yet gives you high returns. Your bank account is actually just giving you 3 to 4% return, which is not good at all. So I'm going to give you at least an assured return of 25% in 1 year. And I am guaranteeing you to give you a return of double the money in 5 years. That's been my record of the 100 number of portfolios that I managed all along my career. I have protected money even in the COVID time when people were losing their money, the markets were down, and they were even not able to protect their capital. I was able to restructure the investment so that I could save their money and keep them safe. My clientele remain with me year in year because I've gained trust not just by making them money earn, but also for the sheer relation that I have shared with them. And hence, not just for the 100 portfolios that I've managed, my repeat client ratio and repeat clientele also have been high. I have my blog very much on the internet by the name of Financial Advisors of Delhi, and you can go and visit various testimonials that have been there. I have various high NHI clients of mine that are there and giving you evidences of the kind of returns that have assured them. Hereby, I am before all of you. If you looking that you have some money which you actually, being at your work, somebody else could manage to get you an assured return, I'm here to give you an advice on that. You can check my blogs to get more knowledge of that, or also I can share with you my details when I can discuss with you a more customized plan of how your requirement is suitable. This is me as your financial wealth planner and a wealth gainer. This is Shikha. Thank you. So what I did, I told what I do. I'm a wealth gainer, an advisor. I didn't say I do financial investment. I have to give you the value statement. I invest a double your money. I have to give you what's in it for you. I am giving you a value statement. What is it? But from a value perspective. If I clean roads, I have to give you the value. I make clean roads for you to walk. There's a value to it. Okay, how I do? I invest in things. Okay. Third, I gave you a statement like evidences. You need to gain trust, but for trust purposes, I can give you historical references. You know, things like I was doing COVID times, are protected and all of that. And fourth point is very, very subtle and very, have to be conscious of that. I can't make it desperate that, hello, please buy my services. As of today, what happens is anybody who makes a purchase decision always does an informed decision, which means he will do the due research. He will cross check, talk to different people, cross check various alternate sources. So when you know that's how today an informed individual behaves, don't be desperate to right now in the very first conversation ask for a closure on an action like, hey, please buy my services. It will be just too desperate. You have to actually come across as a helper to that person, and at the end keep it very subtle, like, hey, why don't you visit my YouTube channel or my blog, or here's my card, you need some advice, we can always talk more about it, maybe talk more relevant to what you need. So that's the structuring I did. But this wasn't just theory. What we will do in the next section, so all of you are professionals, right, doing some service, doing some job, or hypothetically also you can create one. What we'll do in the next section is you structure a 3-minute conversation, okay, around these 4 points, 4 bullets, and I will request any of you to come and deliver this 3-minute speech. You have, each of you are some professional, or even you can create, maybe you don't want to do for the profession you are in or something else. So you structure, I'll give you 2-3 minutes right now, just think mentally, or you want to note it down on a paper, how you would structure and deliver this conversation. In the next section, I can invite any of you to come and deliver that. We will see how you went by along with these 4 points and where possibly we can improve. All right, I'll just give you 2-3 minutes. You can all start. Maybe you want to think or you want to note it down. In the next section, I could request any of you to come and deliver. I'll give you a 2-3 minutes time. Your profession, how would you come and deliver whatever services you deliver? For example, if she's an artist, how would she want to put across that service, or her skills? So something like that. Or if you're a software professional, how would you want to pitch that service? It has to be very subtle along the 4 points that I said. It has to be valuable, it has to be relatable, it has to be how you will do it. You have to weave a story, or a story, you have to make it engaging for the listener and keep it a subtle closure at the end, not desperate out there. All right, 2-3 minutes, please. We take. I can invite any of you to please come and deliver. So don't think if you're not thinking, I will let you off this. I can just invite anybody. I can invite more than one person. I'm that wicked. 1 minute up, 2 more minutes to please think. Structure it out. Structure it out. W as in what do you do, H as in how do you do, A as in you have to give evidences, actually can that happen, you can weave a story, and C is closure for an action, but a subtle one. I can even ask students to participate. 2 minutes up, we take 1 more minute. Final structuring of the thoughts. It has to be only 3 minutes of a conversation that you deliver. Please don't make it too wordy. Last 30 seconds to finally form your thoughts around your conversation. Last 15 seconds, please. Just put it together and we close it. All right. We will now move to our second section, which is the table topics. Thereafter, when I resume, I will be little wicked to call you up the stage and you will deliver your talk. Let's see who nails it. But for now, we have the table topic section. I would sincerely encourage our guests to come and participate. We really want to hear from you as we share these topics. Allow me to please invite our table topic master, Sahil, to please come up on the stage and lead the section.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shikha. Hi, I'm back on stage again. My name is Sahil Madan and I will also be the table topics master for today. As the name suggests, master, so I'm free to invite anyone. I'll not go around saying, would you like to come on stage? And what if the person says no? So I'm the master. I'll call anyone on stage. I have 6 topics for me, and that's quite a lot of people. But since we are short on time, I'll do only 6 topics for now. I'll first invite a Toastmaster, and then all the guests will get an opportunity. 5 guests will. I know there are more than that, but that's it for now, and you will maybe get a chance next time. First, I'd like to invite DTM Shahid on stage, please, for the first topic. Okay. So, a brief introduction about the topics. They're not exactly topics. I have chosen 6 quotes, short and simple quotes. When I say that quote, you have to just stop and think, and whatever comes to your mind, maybe it can be a story, maybe you can weave a story, or a life event that has occurred previously, or something about the future. Whatever that comes to your mind, think about it and then speak. Okay, DTM Shahid, your topic is have more than you show and speak less than you know. Have more than you show and speak less than you know, DTM Shahid.
Good afternoon or good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. My dad was a very strict disciplinarian. It was like the mafia boss telling his drug peddlers to sell the product at any cost, otherwise, there is a gun on you. I wanted to escape this. I really wanted to escape this torture of my dad, waking me up early at 4 o'clock, sending me out to run around, take a jog, exercise, come back, have some good breakfast, and then not go to sleep, but go to school. Or when I became a teenager and more younger, started going to college, he called me to his office. It was torturous for me. Each time, I'll tell you a small story, very funny story. One day, he said, "You have to go on tour." I said, "Okay, give me an itinerary." He said, "There is no itinerary, you make it yourself." I called up an agent of mine. I said, "Can you explain the itinerary to me?" He said, "Your father told me not to give you anything." And then I looked around some files and found an itinerary of one of my agents and wrote it down.
It was an itinerary of traveling for 15 days from Delhi to Kanyakumari and back. There were almost 7 to 8 cities that I had to visit, and overnight journey was in trains. I booked a ticket. It cost me around 750 rupees. Then I asked my dad for money for travel. He offered me 1,500 rupees. I said that the ticket from Delhi to Chennai is 750 and I have to visit seven. He said, shut up. Collect the money, collect orders, buy the tickets and come back. I said, okay. One of these stops was in Bombay. I traveled all the way. I came to Bombay. I had only 1,500 rupees. I was very frugal with the money. The payments, I was not sure if the guys will be giving me in cash or checks. Mostly they were in checks. Some of them gave me cash, which were small amounts, because at that time I was very young. They were looking at me. They were all friends of my father, and they were always treating me like a child. So they were not giving me a lot of cash. It was a very big challenge for me. In fact, I had to put down my shame aside and ask one of the people that, can you please buy a ticket for me for the train? And he said, okay, which class? I said, second class, second AC. The guy, being my father's friend and just as frugal, bought me a 3-tier ticket. I reached Bombay. I went to a hotel. I checked the hotel and there was written the price for this one night stay is 2,900 rupees. And in my pocket, I had only 2,000 rupees. I went to a friend of my father and said that I need an accommodation. He sent me to a fifth floor in the very chawl, that slums they call in Bombay. On the fifth floor of it, it had a wooden cabin, and he asked me to sleep there, and I had to pay only 200 rupees per day, and I stayed there for 4 days. And then I came back home all fluxumed and not totally befuddled, not knowing what should I be doing and what should I tell my father. And then my father told me, this is how you underperform and overdo. Over to you.
Medium Shahid. Next, I'll invite our first guest. Your name, please? Okay.
Master.
Mahira, go ahead. Mahira. Yes.
So your topic is always do what you are afraid to do.
And you just did it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to think around this, like any incidents of your life where you thought you were nervous or you were kind of afraid to do this, but you did it.
Well, this is the incident of my life, live incident, what I'm doing right now. I'm always afraid to go on stage. Like, I feel not only butterflies in my stomach, I feel like my entire body is giving some kind of reaction. So, but I have been planning this for quite a long time, like 1 year or something. But I was always like, I'll do it later. But today I got the courage, or I took the time out of my busy life, and I came here, and here I am standing in front of you, trying to overcome my fear. So this is just the start. So I advise all of you, you should always do what you fear, and that's the only way to overcome the fear.
Great job. Next, I'll invite your name?
Amit.
Amit on stage, please. So the topic is, it always seems impossible until it's done. You can take 30 seconds.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is it seems impossible until it is done. So when like we can say our life incidents also. So like when it was the COVID period and we were working from work from home for almost 2 years. So work from home culture was like in the first month people were enjoying. They were enjoying the pakoras and everything. They were searching on the YouTube. but after 3 or 4 months it was like we were like anytime there was no time for your working life. Like it was always you were there was a fear that your boss will call you and he will say, come on the Zoom, I have to do this. So it was like it's almost a 1 year have been passed in work from home culture, and I was like, because I was always trying to appear for my CIA exam. So and it was a late night working also for a very long time. So one day I thought, why I am working for the office, and it's like a boss is calling and I'm working till 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the night. So I thought, whenever I got the time, I'll start preparing for myself. So I enrolled for this exam. This exam was like it's a in a single attempt, it's a almost 1 lakh rupee fee. If you don't pass, you have to pay again, and the result is almost 12%, and you have to achieve 80% for qualifying the exam. So I thought, okay, let's take a try, and I paid the fees and started working on myself. Whenever I got the time, when on those days when boss is not calling for the office work, I started preparing for myself. I started preparation for this exam, and you will be amazed that within a 15 days of preparation, I qualified the exam in the single attempt. So it was like it seems impossible until you have done it. So that's
Thanks a lot, Amit. Next, I'll invite. Okay, your name, please. Come on, try it. Okay, so your topic is never regret anything that made you smile. Never regret anything that made you smile.
Alright. It was a time when I was in college, and I was low on funds, and there was this movie that was released, and I spent all my remaining money on
Louder.
Alright. Yeah, it was during college. I was a little bit low on funds, and everyone is. So there was this movie that was released, and I had like uh, money about like pocket money like about like a week, maybe something 10 days. So I spent everything on that movie. I loved it, and that was good.
Thanks a lot, Naved. Next, I'll invite Himanshu. Himanshu, please. Always smiling. Okay, so your topic is you're always one decision away from a totally different life.
Yeah, that's kind of relatable to my life. I would like to take a personal example. I was preparing for a very difficult exam. I think you might have heard about it, IIT JEE. You all might have heard about it, right? It's a difficult exam in our country as well as in our world as well. Over all the countries, it's a difficult exam to crack. And I took a challenge. Can I take up this exam and clear it? And to my surprise, I cleared this exam and went to one of the best institutes in our country named IIT Guwahati. So this was one such decision or one such event that made my life or my career, which I am at currently. It gave a boost to my career. I have grown leaps and bounds in my career. I had two choices at that particular time. Either I fear everything and run, or I face everything and roar. And I am glad that I took the latter option and faced everything and roared. And right now I'm standing tall, standing confident in front of everybody. Whenever I get an opportunity to improve upon something, I take up that challenge. I give my best towards it, and eventually the results follow up, right? So as they say, there is a success in every failure and there is a failure in every success. So it really depends. Even though you don't succeed, even though you are uh, facing a failure, it's fine. Even though it's a doglapan, there is a success in every failure and failure in success, every success. But it's quite relatable to our life. So yeah, this was an event I wanted to tell you all about, and hope it motivated you.
Thanks a lot, Ivanshu. Next, I'll call your name. I couldn't catch your name.
Harshita.
Harshita, please come on stage. So, your topic is what we think we become.
Oops, that's me. All right, what we think we become. Actually, I'll start with a story. There was a little girl in a school, in a convent. And in convents, there are a lot of functions happening all around. So there was one function, annual function, you can say, and there were a group of teachers who came to a classroom and they picked up one girl who was sitting on the last bench. They picked up that girl and they said that this girl is going to become the Juliet of the play. When that girl was selected as the Juliet, what that girl did was she went inside the bathroom and she locked herself. And they kept on calling her name, please come up with us because we want you to be the Juliet, but she didn't come up. Who was that girl? That girl was Harshita, who is standing right in front of you. That shy girl is now standing in front of you as a spoken English trainer. Okay, coming to the topic, what you think you become. As I told you that I was a very shy girl, very introvert. When life gives you a hit or a push, you think what you become. And that is quite relatable when it comes to Harshita because I got married in 2020, and in the month of January when I got married, in the month of March when I started looking for career, COVID hit us badly, and it was 6 months I was jobless. I went into depression because I am a workaholic. As my colleague is sitting right here, she can relate to it. Even on Sundays, I work till 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And just think about a workaholic who doesn't have any job, who just got married and she was cooking at home. She didn't know anything to cook and she was cooking and she was just doing that. She was not following her career. At that point in time, this company where I'm working right now came into picture. They gave me an opportunity to work as a spoken English trainer. And within, I think, 1 year, they promoted me as a team lead. When I joined this company, I was not, I was befuddled. I can use this. I was befuddled because even it was 2 months and I started looking for opportunity. This job is not my time. Is not of my type because I'm not going to give any boost to my career. I have not seen myself managing a team of 20 people. And right now, I think there are 21 people in my team and I'm managing it. So I have never thought, but yes, after 1 year when I got the promotion, I thought that yes, I can be a leader, and therefore I am a leader now of a member of 20 people, and I'm so proud of it. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Harshita.
Thank you.
Your name? Arun, please come on stage. So the topic is there are friends, there is family, but then there are friends who become family.
About the extended family.
Speech over. Please.
To begin with, I think it's some kind of a difficult topic to speak on. Not because I don't have any friends, it's just because I'm selectively social. So I do not have a clan to be with or to be around. But yeah, I do have a few friends of mine whom I have, you could say, collected over a period of time to this age. One of them is sitting right here. And so yeah, I do have, I mean, I'm a very family kind of person. I'm very protective about my family.
since I've understood the importance of having friends around in life, so I'm productive among my friends as well. What do I need to add on to this? I think being an introvert, it's sometimes difficult for me to, not, it's not that I'm not confident enough, it's just that I'm being an introvert, it is sometimes difficult for me to express my feelings, even to the one person who is sitting in front of me, not out the whole room. So I think that should be it. Thanks a lot, Arun. That's it from my side. I know a lot of guests and members are left, but maybe next time.
All right.
Okay, back to Toastmasters Shikha.
Thank you, Sahil, for the beautiful topics and letting so many of us have the opportunity to participate. Now I'm wearing the wicked hat where I said that I will not just give theories, we will put the learning to test and we will real time do something to see how much we learned. All right, I will just request first one of you to come and deliver a conversation. Be a little conscious that we are talking of doing a most effective, precise delivery of 3 minutes only. Don't make it wordy. Structure it out. You don't want to lose anybody's focus and you want to make them move towards the desired action you want them to take. All right, with this thought, may I request Madhumita to please come and participate.
I'm a little scared though.
That's okay, each of us are. 3 minutes if you could just please time. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sure. So, the first thing that I want to mention here is that I'm an English spoken mentor. And it's for me, it's very difficult. It was really difficult to teach because I always wanted to become an actor. I never in my life thought that I'll be teaching someone. So the first thing that I want to tell you here is that one of the examples that I'll give, that I was not a fluent speaker. At one point of time, I didn't know how to actually speak fluently. So the first thing I did was, am I going wrong?
You do, please, we'll talk of that later. You take it ahead as the way you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first thing that I did was that I started learning by myself. So how can you actually become a fluent speaker? If you actually want to become a fluent speaker, there are a lot of platforms. But what we actually do here is we try to connect with people and we want to make sure that you not only speak on the content part, but you are able to give examples, because when we speak on a topic, we have so many things to talk about, not only the examples, but if you google it, you can find any content. But if you actually want to speak on any topic, you have to give examples so that the audience can relate with your topic. So yeah, that would be all. I'm a little scared.
The beautiful part is that you came here. This is the very first time that you here among all of us. Yeah. I understand the nerve. When I was first time speaking, I was like, okay, God, keep me together.
Yeah,
I don't want to break into pieces.
I was actually prepared and I made a note of it, but when I went there, I just forgot the sync and I just.
That's okay. Just a slight tip I'll give you. So nobody, see, being little blunt, nobody is interested in us. They're more interested in the kind of service that you want to give. So rather than who I am, okay, maybe you could have worded like, how about making your English better? Mm-hmm. How about when you go next time, even in an a friendly conversation or a professional, you nail it. You know you can understand what the other person is saying and deliver it a response in the most professional and a precise manner. Right. How about I make your English so polished that you can even beat the Britishers? Right. Here I am. So this is something like that. What? How? And that's how you go about it. Okay. So this is the kind of thing we are doing, but allow me to now take the third section. This is the evaluation section. I will please invite my general evaluator, DTM Shahid sir, to please come and lead the evaluation section.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shikha. Sometimes I have a feeling that I should take a break from Toastmasters and go to my grave. Because after that, I don't want to do anything. With this kind of audience with me, it gives me that pride that I almost pray for 7 days, 6 days in a row that God, please, when I go to Toastmasters meeting on this Saturday, there should be a big crowd. And today it happened. One more thing happened. One more good thing happened. That is, I am now finding a leader who will replace me as a VP Education. And I'm not going to tell the name. And I'm also looking at a journal evaluator in the same person in whom I'm looking at a VP Education. So the next time the role goes to her or him, depends on how the role roster goes on. Okay, now comes the general evaluation part. This is the, what do you call, breakfast of speakers or breakfast of feedback of Toastmasters. Here we learn what we actually did on stage. We learn what we have to improve on. And how do we improve on that? That is the trademark of Toastmasters, that when you are being given a feedback, when you are being given a recommendation, they tell you how to do it. And if they don't know it, they will not tell you that. So you can go to some other person who knows it and ask him. So let's first start with the evaluation of the speech evaluate of the speakers' speeches. Now there is a very big catch here. Most of the times, the Toastmaster of the day or the any new by Toastmaster, they come and they say, okay, so now Toastmaster Shahid is going to evaluate Toastmaster Harshita, and Toastmaster Harshita is looking around. I have not even met this guy once in my life, and how is going to evaluate me? So this guys is not a long-term relationship evaluation. We are going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Harshita. So that is how you say that this person is going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Harshita. This is one thing, that long sentence is required. Most of the time I tell people to use short sentences, but only this time I tell them to use this long sentences, that please now help me welcome Toastmaster Shikha, who is going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Saurabh.
All right, big responsibility to evaluate who is that experienced in delivering back-to-back speeches. Okay. So one, we've been always seeing you progressing, speech by speech. I remember where I had heard speech where the message was not that clear. And today when you delivered the speech, we were able to identify what's the message at the end. As you said, please write down what's the moral of the story. So from that perspective, there's improvement and growth. Few suggestions from my side. For example, you could, while you were narrating a story, you could bring a little vocal variety, in the sense you could create emotion. For example, when you were talking of the lady being disgusted, you could really voice it out to reflect disgust. You were just wording it out. Likewise, you were talking even of a man, so maybe just create more heavy bass in your voice, so it just made a little theatrical and will engage the crowd in that sense. Yes, and then I think you had two speeches, but little the timing went a little haywire, and so only one could be completed. So a little conscious of the time that we structure it. And also, I felt that the first speech that you delivered was a little too long. I mean, that somewhere we were kind of losing to be, along with you, along each sentence. So that's why I would make it a little crisp, so that we kind of glued with you. Maybe the 3-minute principle holds somewhere. So that's where make a little short and crisp, so that we kind of stay along with you all throughout. So that's from my side. Emotions part, I think grammatical part, maybe the grammarian will cover it, and timing wise, maybe you could just time it a better. However, though, in my view, you will always be coming across as somebody who's always comfortable on the stage. There was no signs of nervousness. English, I think, also in the sense of it's kind of improving, while it will improve further. But in from that perspective, also, I've seen growth over the time. So I think little fine tuning is required, but still a lot of progress is made over the time. So that's my evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shikha. Just to add to this beautiful evaluation, I have one more recommendation. In Toastmasters, there is something called plagiarism. And in Toastmasters, if you are to quote something from somewhere, 25% of the content can be taken from that particular quote, provided you actually quote that quotation from where you have taken, the source you have to put in. Now, Toastmaster Saurabh is just, I'm going to just give it a learning because it was a project that was about storytelling. So I'm just telling it in general that whenever you are delivering a story, maybe it is a folklore, maybe it is a story by Mark Twain or any other writer, you need to quote about the writer. And if you don't know it's a folklore, then you need to tell that I am going to tell you a folklore which is not by me, I'm just a narrator. So this is just to explain to you that in case you go for competitions, you do not come up with a speech that is great and you are doing a storytelling and you do all the good things and then suddenly the judges go out and say it is plagiarism. So only take care of that. On a very lighter note, how many of you have seen the franchise of Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4? How many of you remember Apollo Creed? Do you know that story of Apollo Creed, how he was never ever defeated by Rocky and that they had an emotional relationship, and then when Rocky was down, Apollo pushed him up and down. So why am I talking about this right now? I have to make some sense out of it, right? Because in our club there is a Rocky Balboa by the name of Saurav Khanra, and there is an Apollo Creed by the name of Shikha, who was a born champion. With practice, she became what she is right now. And Saurav Khanra was a man who started from the dogs. His story is just like Sylvester Stallone. He sold his dog and joined Toastmasters. Similarly, he did not sell his dog, but he actually did work very hard to come to Toastmasters and joined it immediately. And then he works very hard to. His story is related. I am definitely sure that today he is going to go home and tell his wife that I have been the Rocky Balboa of Toastmasters. With this, I hope you are not befuddled. Makes sense. Okay. With this, I would now like to call upon stage Toastmaster Neeti, who is going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Anand.
As you all know that we love to hear from Toastmaster Anand due to his punchlines. The speech was well structured. It started with a question, so it took the attention of all the audience. He used many metaphors also, like rainy days, dark side. He used the comparison about Delhi and USA. He had a good eye contact with everyone. Also, he had used the great gestures, hand gestures. One recommendation that I will give to him is like he was moving like a caged lion, so he could have stopped at one place and deliver his speech so that everyone could connect to him better. And also, he could have memorized the speech in a better way so that everyone could connect. So, that is my
This was Neeti's debut evaluation. Okay. So now that you are coming closer to completing your level 1 too, right? One more speech is left. Okay. So last week I had this guy Anand on stage, and he said, "I have a sore throat. I cannot speak." And then he gave the same speech with a PPT presentation and a cheat code. He had the paper right here, and he was looking at it and delivering the speech. The speech was fine. He filed his level. The objectives were completed. He did everything that was possible for him to do. We do not judge people. We do not put critical comments on it. So I just told him as a VP Education that Anand, if you want to deliver a speech while reading it, make notes and keep them in your hand. He said, okay, next time I'll do this. Now, there is another thing in Toastmasters. We do not force anyone or mandate anyone to repeat a speech unless and until that is a pointer from his or her mentor, and that is something very personal. It is Toastmasters in this whole book of leadership handbook and constitution. Toastmasters has not written at any place that you should repeat a speech if it is not good, unless and until it is not meeting the time management. Then the VP Education says that you'll have to repeat because you have not come up to the time management mark. Toastmaster Anand I think, pinged me the next day or the next day after that, Shahid sir, if is it all right that should I deliver the speech again? And trust me, I was overwhelmed. Nobody does that. They are all running of our targets. Okay, I have paid my money of renewals. I have to finish this speech. I'll get at least one level up, and I'll move on. I'll find. But self improvement and self criticism is something that is what Toastmasters Anand has given us with an example. Led us with an example that he said, "I'll deliver this speech again." And how many of you have heard his speech last time? Raise your hands. And how many of you, other than Neeti, are happy? Okay, I'll not ask the Toastmaster members. Hari, what your name? Harshit. No, no. Himanshu. Himanshu, you tell me. Did you notice any difference between this first speech of Toastmaster Anand and now? And if yes, what was the difference?
I could see him more confident. I could see him structuring his thoughts well, even though he forgot. He kind of pulled himself together, and then came back. So it would be a great learning experience for him.
Excellent. Let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Anand for bettering himself only. Excellent. Now I would like to move on to the next speech evaluator. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Saurabh to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Sahil.
Thank you so much, BTM Sahil. I believe you already knew Sahil very well. He's going to start his first MBA class from June onwards, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And this is the best part of Toastmaster platform where we don't know each other, but we help each other to understand what are the techniques you are going to implement in your modern life when you start your own job or you start your own career. So on that note, I believe Sahil did not require any introduction. He is very confident while delivering any sort of speech. He has that authority on this particular language called English, where I am very lagging. Okay, and that's why it is very difficult to give any sort of feedback to a person who is better than you in that particular subject or area where you are lagging basically. But as I know for last 2 years participating in Toastmaster speeches or sessions, that this is the most valuable portion where we actually help each other to understand certain things in terms of context, that is called body language, the vocal variety, because we listen to that particular speech, and apart from that, the connection between the audience and the speakers. In that note, Sahil did a great job, and his speech was having a very great start. He's always confident, and actually is evolving in terms of connecting with audience. I believe I have only one recommendation, that is the speed that Sahil always use while telling the story. And sometimes Sahil has a unique style of asking questions. Whenever you ask question to your audience, you have to give a certain portion of time so that audience can grab that question, have the answer. Then if you move again, that will be great connect with your audience. Otherwise, at the end, Sahil has that unique. I said already that Sahil had that unique style of delivering the speech, and always at the end he quote certain speaker, certain motivational speaker from the timeline or from us who is there currently in the marketplace. On that note, this is a very good speech, and I believe in coming weeks also we'll listen more from Sai. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. This is for you. Let's find them. Yes. Okay, so you are having a small chit on your hand. I would request you to vote for the best speaker. That is one of these four: Toastmaster Saurabh, Toastmaster Anand, Toastmaster Sahil, or Toastmaster Niti. You can only vote for one person. Similarly, after my session of is over as evaluator, you can vote for the best evaluator. And also, please vote for the best table topic speaker The first one was Toastmaster Shahid. The second was Toastmaster Mahira. The third was Toastmaster Harshita. Fourth was Toastmaster Ajay. And the fifth was Toastmaster Himanshu. And sixth was Arun. Arun. Yes, Harshita. Okay, the number can change, but it was Harshita, Arun, Himanshu, Shahid, Ajay, and Mahira. Amit. And Amit. And Mahira. Okay. One of these you can vote as the best table topic speaker. They also have some chocolates in their pockets, so you can just look around and see who's going to give it to you after the speech. Okay, now I am going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Neeti. Like I told you, I am her grand mentor. Toastmaster Neeti has a lot of challenges, and not in terms of something emotional. Only thing is that she's a working woman, she's a housewife, and she multitasks a lot. She is a people pleaser. She takes care that all the people who are in her life do not get, offended by her. This is her motto in life. Today she delivered a speech where the emphasis was on body language and vocal variety. Now again here, some people who have a lot of emotional turmoil inside them, it is not easy for them to have a good vocal voice. They always are having a lump in their throat, butterflies in their stomach, and shivers in their body. But I noticed none of it in Toastmaster Neeti. She chose her speech so well. She actually found those words. I have made some notes. Like, for example, what she was doing, she was talking about the lion and the eagle, and then her gestures were when she said, with this spirit. So she used this finger like this. It actually shows, in movies they show a spirit moving on in a single dot, a light halo moving on. So she made that sign. I don't know how she did it. She practiced it or not, but it works. Then when she was talking about leader, she had an open hand. Then the only thing that I felt that is required in terms of a recommendation is that since it was her first time, so I can give her a benefit of doubt, is the monotone. She was emphasizing on each word, trying to grasp the adjective and then exploring it in her voice. So that is something perfectly fine. Only thing is, it should not go into a monotone. She should practice a lot, work a lot, and then any when you are delivering vocal variety kind of thing, or gesture or body language, what you need to understand is that you have to imagine things. When you imagine things, then you can use the words that way, and then you can explain more. Now this is something that you have to practice. How do you imagine? I was very good at imagining things, and it made wonders to me when in terms of telling stories. Some people used to call me a master storyteller. I don't know if I was that, but it did work. Now I'm just taking things for granted. That is why I'm just going down in what I'm actually good at doing. With this, I would now like to call upon stage one more person who is going to evaluate the 6 table topics speakers. Please, speaker speeches. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Deepak as the table topic evaluator.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm a table topic evaluator for today's meeting, and it's really take courage to come on a stage and speak on a topic which is unknown to us. So I really appreciate all the speakers who came and spoke on the topic. So there is my evaluation. First was Shahid sir. He started with a great story, and wherever he speaks, my student mind get activated. I was just learning when he was speaking. It was really captivating. There was an opening, proper structuring. Proper structure was there with a story and proper ending. So this is all about sir. No recommendation. Next was Mahira. It is very difficult to be vulnerable in front of the people, and not one or two people, around 15 or 20 people. So she accepted her weakness, and she accepted with a smile. So kudos to Mahira. She uh, she resonated her topic with her story, and she maintained an eye contact. There's only one recommendation for her. She would have taken a bit time before speaking. So we give some time, like 30 seconds, to prepare for table topic. Next one was Amit. He shared his own story, like when the tough get going, then going get tough. So he was really an example of it. Again, he resonated his topic with our own story, and there's one recommendation: he could maintain an eye contact properly. Next one was Lalit. He started very well. Uh, he also shared his own story. Just one recommendation for her: he could be a bit louder, because I think that most of the people were unable to listen him properly. Next is Himanshu. Himanshu is always smiling. His body language is good. He is very confident, and he always come up with a great content. So, and he shared one important lesson, like find a success in failure and failure in success. And there is no recommendation for Himanshu. Next one was Harshita. So she's a great communicator. We all know. Uh, she shared her own story, like she was a very shy student in her childhood, and being a shy, she turned out to be a communicator. And how she overcome her depression, she also accepted kind of vulnerability, and she also used the word of the day, and there was a great eye contact she was maintaining. So no recommendation for her. The last one was Arun, my friend. So he maintained a good eye contact, and he was smiling, and although he did not speak much, but whatever he spoke, it was genuine. So that's it from my report on table topic evaluation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Thank you so much. So I would like to add something here. You know how I learned English, and this actually relates to the fact that I'm seeing Harshita here in this meeting, and she told us that she went into the washroom and she was so shy. I was also a convent educated student, and in 8th class, I had this teacher called Miss Sethi, who became eventually Mrs. Chaudhary. Well, I thought that she would become Mrs. Shahid, but it did not happen. It did not happen. I don't know. I felt that she had some flame for me. And how it happened, I'll tell you that. How it happened. I gave my English exam, and I barely passed it with 33.5 marks. It was just 0.5% that I cleared, passed it. And she used to call me Rafi Saha because my surname is Rafi. So she used to call me Rafi Saha. That was first indication that she has a corner for me. Then when she gave me that my exam sheet and said that you have just barely passed this, and then she scolded 10 or 20 other students who had not even passed and told them, I am going to make you stay back in the class after the school, and I am going to teach you English so that you become better. My heart sank. Then I realized that why should I not have just cut down that 1 mark? And I started counting my paper. that at least 1 mark should get less. It did not happen. She looked at me and said, Rafi Sahab, you are also one of them who is going to stay back after class for 1.5 hours and learn English from me. And it was a moment of deja vu for me. I used to sit at the 5th row in the class, but in the extra classes, I was just sitting in the front row like this. And that made me what I am today in spoken English. Guys, we always get inspiration from beautiful people. That is why I keep on searching on Toastmasters to bring in more and more beautiful people so that we learn from them. Okay, with this, I would now like to request you to please vote for the best table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Shikhar, Toastmaster Niti, Toastmaster Saurabh, Toastmaster Shahid, and Toastmaster Deepak. While you are voting for the best evaluators, I would like to call upon stage a very dedicated Toastmaster who has taken multiple roles and actually pings me on the very second day that, sir, I'm going to take one role. And when I give a blackmailing message on the basis of which many things happen, he always sends me, okay, sir, I'll take another role. Please help me welcome the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Deepak.
Again, I am back. I think everyone is seeing me frequently now.
Not as frequently as me.
But we are happy to see.
Yes.
So, in today's meeting, the word of the day was used very frequently. Saurabh used, Saurabh, Shahid, Arshita, they used the word of the day. Shikha also. Saurabh is covered.
Sahil. Instead of
Oh,
Saurabh,
sorry. Sahil.
Saurabh also used it. Not yet.
Not yet. There were some good usages also. Enticed, stranding, horrific, opponent, vain, head start, timid, frugal. There are some correction, not much. So it was used, you might be say. It could have been said that you could have said instead of you might be say. Got ridden off instead of get rid of, because it was related to past. Another one was very few people could have been used instead of so few people. Next one is it was used heaviest instead of heavier. So this is all in respect of grammarian. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak. I would now like to call upon stage Toastmaster Anand, who is going to give us the report of our counter. Toastmaster Anand.
Good evening, everybody. I have the report of A's and Ums. Saurabh was using one word so frequently, which is particular, so many times. But he was flawless. Anand, that's me. I took 2 long pauses and 1 short pause, and 2 ums. Sahil used so and 2 times. Niti was flawless. In table topics, Mahira. She used 3 likes, 2 buts, and 4 so's. Amit, 7 A's, 4 like. Himanshu, 2 so's. Harshita, 1 so and 3 Arun, 2 so and 2 R's. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Now I would like to call upon stage, last but not the least, the timer of the day, Toastmaster Shahid. He has just joined Toastmasters only 24 hours back, and he is doing his debut as the timer. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Shahid.
Good morning and good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for showing that belief on me for becoming the. So today I am the timer of the day. So just I will start with the speech topic. Saurabh is took the 8 minutes 48 seconds. Anand 7 minutes 43 seconds, and Sahil Madan took 6 minutes and 22 seconds, and Niti Gupta took 4 minutes 53 seconds. And now I come to the table topic. Sahid took the 3 minutes 39 seconds. Mehra took the 46 seconds only. Amit 2 minutes 11 seconds. Abid 30 seconds only. Himanshu took the 1 minute 53 seconds, and Arshita took the 2 minutes 56 seconds, and Arun 1 minute 9 seconds, and Madhu Madhu King क्या नाम है? Madhumita. Sorry, Madhumita took the 1 minute 19 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, without much ado, I will now like to move on to the general evaluation of the meeting. The meeting started almost on time, just 5 minutes late. The influx of guests continued even after the first session was over. That was really overwhelming. The only thing that is required is that we should do something about the door that makes a lot of noise and disturbs some speakers. That is something that we will give a feedback to our venue partners so that they take care of. Coming to the Sergeant at Arms, this time Sahil was the Sergeant at Arms replacing Shubham, who is busy with some closings right now. He did the meeting, he started the meeting with his own cool style. There was not much of energy, but yes, he was right and perfect to the T. Then came the presiding officer, who always encourages the guest to come on stage, despite no matter how much time we have. He always takes care that the guest should come on stage and get something good. I appreciate that. Though I recommend that the guests should be taken their introduction right from their seats, so that they don't get too much conscious that they are being called on stage immediately. Otherwise, it's up to the presiding officer to do whatever he likes, because at the end of the day, he has to encourage the guests to join again and again. Now comes the TMOD part. On Thursday, there was no TMOD role being taken. That is Toastmaster of the Day. TMOD is Toastmaster of the Day role. It was not being taken by anyone. So I give the messages only to the roster who are active Toastmasters. And it is a broadcast message. So it's a generalized message. So my generalized message was a blackmailing message that I am not going to take the top 3 roles, that is the general evaluator, the table topic master, and the TMOD, because I have lower energy. Within 10 minutes, I got a message from Toastmaster Shikash as she's going to be the TMOD, and just 10 minutes before, Sahil had already sent a message to me that, Shahid sir, if nobody is taking the TMOD role, I will volunteer to do it. So only 2 people got blackmailed. I love you both. The rest of you, please come forward and start loving me. Take the general evaluation role so that you get more variety in terms of your evaluations. So much for the TMOD. Now TMOD role again. I think the poster was posted on Saturday or Friday evening, because we did not know the theme. The theme has to be prepared. So, and the lateness of the release poster, was showing on the preparation of the theme. Today was like a training in giving an icebreaker. I would like to request you all to please give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Shikha for doing such a fantastic job as a Toastmaster. I've been keenly observing her journey from a shy and a little reluctant speaker to moving towards a trainer and a coach. And I wish you all the best in whatever you are doing, and you are going to really change lives once you become what you want to become. Moving on to the table topic master. Again, Sahil is a multitasker. He prepares the posters. He tells me, sir, which poster has to come. Normally, a PR is someone who just says, I'll avoid a few posters, only mandatory posters I'll do it. But Sahil religiously messages me, sir, these birthdays are coming and these people are completing their levels. He knows it beforehand, and then he tells me that this I have to do. and he's taking multitask. He's delivering his speeches. When I used to deliver my speeches and my VP Education would ask me for a role, I would straight away refuse. I said, no, I'll focus on my speeches. But he's not doing that. That is a big kudos to Toastmaster Sahil for helping me and the club so much. Toastmaster Sahil, big round of applause. Other than that, my team of tag team, timer role, I had given this role to Shaif only on Friday, and his first question, like I told you, was what is a timer? And then I sent him the PDF files, and I told him that just to read them and then memorize whatever you are going to do it, how you are going to do it, and the rest is history. He has come up on stage and did this role. I experientially give recommendations and commendations. When I did my first timer role, it so happened that the meeting started late. The people who were coming to the meeting, they were all leaders. They were coming from an area conference. The VP Education, I had a Chhattis ka aakda with her. So the moment she entered the room, she looked at me and said, why did you not start the meeting on time? Why are you not counting the meeting? We are 15 minutes late. I said, we are late because of you. She said, does not matter. You should have started the meeting on time. And we had a fight on it. And when I delivered my timer's report, I was shaking because the rage in me was not making me work. So the way you have calmly handled things, this is what experiential learning for me is, that you are going to go places with the way you exude confidence on stage. Coming to the counter, Toastmaster Anand, again a person who is always volunteering to take multitasking roles. Even if we have a strength of 20, most of the time the weekends sometimes get occupied. Some people are traveling on weekends to their native towns, or they have other challenges like washing clothes when their wives are not home. Or, like I say in English, it used to happen in the online meetings that I used to get promises that, sir, I'll come offline, don't worry. And then I would find them online on the screen. And then I would say, why did you not come? And then I would reply myself, उनके पाँव में मेहंदी लगी है आने जाने के काबिल नहीं. मतलब means उनके पैरों में they have मेहंदी henna on their feet and they are not able to walk around. So we stopped online sessions and now we are offline and everybody is coming with mehendi on the hands, not on the feet. The next person, again a grammarian, Toastmaster Deepak. He said that I'll take the role of table topics evaluator. Fine. Friday, there were no speech evaluators with me. I did not want to evaluate the speech of my grand mentee. Yet she feels overwhelmed. So I wrote the name of Deepak there. Deepak saw the message late. On Friday, he saw the message and said, sir, I have not even given a speech. How can I evaluate? I said, okay. Nervousness is okay there. I said, then what do you want to do, sir? Kuch bhi kara lo. But don't make me an evaluator. I said, okay, you become the grammarian. Again, this is a very tough role. It's not easy. You have to find a word of the day. You have to take care of every person's grammar. Sometimes some people say that I will not take the grammarian role because I am not an expert in grammar. My grammar is weak. But then one day I told that particular person who was saying this thing that does not matter if grammar is weak. When you start observing and concentrating on what are the mistakes of the others, it will become improvement on you. This is how it happens. That you observe others, learn from their mistakes, and this is how grammar real role is so important. That even if you are not good at grammar, you start grasping these things and you start learning. This is what Deepak is doing. He has taken this role multiple times and he's improving on it each and every day. And let me tell you something good, because today there's such a big crowd. I want to tell something personal about each and every one of you. Deepak does not come from South Delhi. He travels all the way from Karol Bagh, his home, and comes to this meeting. And there are at least 10 clubs all the way from Karol Bagh to this place. But he says, no, I'll stick with Toastmasters of Delhi. I have never asked him the question. I'm afraid of that. The day I ask and I do not come up to his expectations, then something I might lose him. So that is what the kind of love we have, infatuation. That if I ask you, why do you love me? Something will go wrong. With this, I end my session. The meeting was fantastic. We had a very big audience. Let me take a photograph of this from here, because today I am also doing some PR roles.
Just let me take this photograph and then I'll end this session. How many of you like Mandana? क्या नाम है उसका?
The actress.
Yes. Rashmika Mandana. So what is the new sign? What is the new sign? Yes. So we will have a group C and we'll have these signs with us this time. Okay. That's all from my side. Over to Toastmasters today.
Thank you, All right, to begin with, I said I will assure that the session is interesting and the people who are fasting because of Ramadan, I lived up to their expectations and you had a good learning out of the theme. So I'll just summarize what we learned so that as you go back, you can kind of retain it as much as possible. So we learned how the human brain processes the information. He understands as a context, he contextualized, then he conceptualized, that he relates how is it relevant for that person, and third is the actualize, wherein the person says that how am I feasible for me to really put this to action in my capacity financially or feasibility from all those angles. Corresponding to that, we learned the WAC rule to create the most effective, focusing, captivating 3 minutes of a conversation delivery structure, which is WAC, which is what you have to deliver. Explain it simple, straight, don't be verbose. Second, we said how are you going to be delivering that? You have to indicate that to the person listening. Then we said A, that is, are you sure? Are you sure indicates that you have to give evidences of what you're promising to deliver. Will that actually be delivered? And you give historical references or storytelling to keep the crowd engaged. And the last piece was the C part, which is where we're calling for an action, but a subtle one, but not a very to force conversation, a very outright one. So that's the principles we learned. We put this to practice and we did not just do theory, we learned it real time. And that's how I conclude my theme for the day, which is the 3 minutes effective conversation delivery to get more by talking just less. And hereby I deliver my theme for the day and invite the presiding officer, Saurabh Khandra, to come and take over the stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great. So effective speaking and public speaking, this is actually the HR screening part in modern age, current age, so that we get our next appraisal, right? Yes, that's why we all are out and we want to learn certain things so that we also do something in our professional life. Who don't have voice currently? Voice, sound, voice that we speak. Who don't have? Everybody have voice, everybody. Still we are struggling to speak something in front of public. Why it is so? And why we want to learn something that we are actually cultivating for last 41 years. I am a 41-year person. We have IITians, we have professionals, we have CAs. Still, we are looking for
Voice.
we are not confident enough to speak, isn't it? Why? Write it down. Go back to your home. Understand why we are out and searching for that particular voice. Okay? Right, on that note, we have some prize distribution ceremony. We have the best speaker in the room. We have best evaluator in the room, so that we encourage you to come back in this particular platform. Now, talking about voice, all the guests, we are here first time. Can you come on stage and share? Did you find your voice? Ma'am first. Very difficult come in front of others and say something. Only 2 words, yes, no. How you find this time investing for yourself?
Yeah, I actually found my voice today. It felt really very good to speak in front of you, and I believe I'll be doing better next time. And it's really feeling very good. I feel confident.
Very nice. Next, you sir, the chartered accountant. We just closed financial year.
So Yes.
Please submit my return.
Okay, no problem. It's 500 rupees.
He learned.
You are going to give me?
No, I'll take.
I'm a
And if there is
salesperson.
any refund, then I'll take 10% of that refund.
I'm a salesperson. Only take.
So yes, actually it was really uh, helpful for me, and we always found to look for this kind of stages where no one evaluates in that way, because if you are in the office, so if you are into something, then someone's they will pass some negative comments, some positive comments, and it's almost there's some motive is there, but here there's no, I think there's no motive. The motive is only just to upbring the others and grow together. So
Great. Anyone else? Madhumita, I know your name because my wife name is Nabanita. So that's I can relate that.
Okay, all right.
A very common name in Bengali people actually.
Madhumita. Yeah. Okay. All right. Although I'm not a Bengali, I'm from Gorakhpur, UP, and I really enjoyed today's session. And yes, something new I learned, and I got butterflies in my stomach as well. I'm normally never nervous, but today, for some reason, I was nervous here, but I enjoyed it. It was good. It was really good.
Very good, very nice. Last but not the least, anyone else want to share his feelings, her feelings? You, sir? The kiddo? Not you. The IITians. IITians do not require confidence to speak. You already have it. Sir, you want to share? Please be little fast because we have to break our fast.
It was a good session. It was my first time speaking in front of.
We don't know you. Can you give me your background also? A bit.
I am a software professional. I've been working for like 4 years, and currently working in Greater Noida.
How you find this session? Time spent?
It's all right.
Very good. On that note, I request. I'm actually still struggling. We have an English teacher. I'm still struggling with this put, could, and should. Okay, I'm trying my level best, and also
We have a proper video
have.
on that.
Yeah, I'm into thousands of videos. Still, I'm
We'll
searching
give you the best
for
one.
this particular language. Please give that. This is the best part of Toastmasters and.
Saurabh, why don't you sponsor her in the club?
Yes, definitely. I definitely, if I have managed that much of money from Sika, I will definitely. Me and Sika are the best partner. Okay, so whenever you talk to me, please, I'll bring.
In Toastmasters, sponsoring does not mean money. Shai became a Toastmaster today, and her sponsor was Neeti.
I'll do that definitely, no problem. But being a salesperson, what happened? I just closed my financial year target, okay, and it is all about the checks and the budgets and the transactions. That's why maybe I took that financial part. So I'll not take much of your time. I would request you only to come on stage, DTM side, to hand over the certificates. So best role player first. Okay, you already
Toastmaster Shikha.
Toastmaster Sika. Yes, don't take the time. Can come on, please. Photographs. Great. Then best evaluator, you only. Okay. Saeed Anwar Rafi. Thank you so much. Best auxiliary role player, our grammarian,
Toastmaster Deepak.
Toastmaster Deepak.
आज मजा आता तुम कुछ करोगे घर से जरूर दही खा के आते
Thank you so much. Now, best table topic speaker, we have joint winner Himanshu and Harshita. Oh, wow. Don't be shy, come first.
Please come.
Come first, come first.
It's a joint. So
You
we have to
join,
share.
we'll give you a new one.
We'll just copy
I
it
need
out
a
and
new
then
one.
We'll give you a new one.
We can take at least separate pictures.
Oh yes, that would be nice. Yes, yes, yes. Just leave it to us. We'll just give you another one.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Last but not the least, we also have a joint winner here. Best speaker, Sahil and Niti. Wow. Come first.
Maybe one by one.
What you are waiting for?
First
Niti
Niti.
first?
Okay, if we can put Niti and Sahil, then the Anand will have difficulty in taking the photograph.
Ready?
This time, I'm taking it back. My club is going places. Fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you, DPM Sahil, or VP Division.
Come together. Hold this together. Cash 22. ऊपर जाऊं या नीचे जाऊं?
Bring some stool. Thank you so much, DPM Sahil, our VP Education, for this prize distribution or certificate distribution. On that note, thank you so much for your participation. Please share some feedback also on this session, on this particular session, how he conducted, and that actually concludes the 344th meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. Thank you and sayonara.